Hey guys, so we're on a fantastic day. It's Ethan Bailey here. Now in this video, what I'm going to do is break down how you can set up your ad account to make sure you're tracking the right numbers. Now I'm going to go through the exact format, how you can save it, and basically a whole process on how you can track the entire funnel. I'll let you break it down like less than 5 minutes. So any questions, drop in the comment section below. And also I appreciate you hit the subscribe button. Let's just dive straight to it. So this is your ad account. Whenever you go in it, it's going to say performance. Now results, reach, impressions, cost per result, they are useful metrics, but you want more than that. So what you want to do, you go in here. I've got one set up right here, but I'll just create it again. You want to go and customize columns. Now you want to delete literally everything like that, and then you want to click save here. Now the first thing we want to make sure is delivery. We want to make sure all the ads being delivered, so we're going to track delivery. Then we want to make sure we're on the right budget. So let's budget onto there. Now we're thinking audience, so we do CPM. Now this is where it gets controversial. I personally track outbound clicks, cost per outbound click, and outbound CTRs, front-end metrics, because these are what, for example, an outbound click is when someone clicks on the ad and leaves to go to the website. And the cost is obviously the cost for someone to click on the ad, leave and go to the website, physically leaving Facebook. Things with CPC is you can basically, your CPC is always going to be lower than your outbound CPC. Now, your CPC could be like, 50 cents. Your outbound CPC could be $1. Now, your CPC will literally track like everything. Like if someone clicks see more, like, share, comment, anything clicked is basically what CPC is. It's not a good metric to track because you kind of been misleading, because I've seen it before where ads can literally have like a CTR, a standard CTR of about 4% and a CPC of like 50 cents, but no sales. And that's because people are just basically clicking the ad, but maybe not going to the website, going to the Instagram, or maybe just clicking see more or whatever. So that's why I click them. You can track what you want, but if you want really good data, this is what I track: outbound clicks, cost per outbound click, and outbound CTR. Then once we've done that, we're on to website. So we then there obviously isn't a page view, so we do landing page views. We'll do total and then cost. And then when they, obviously, you can see here, it's like a whole funnel. So the gets delivered, you set the budget, you hit the audience. The audience click on the ad, the cost for that, and they click through to the website, which is here. And that's the cost for that. Now, when they get onto the website, they may check out content. So we then check content views, cost. And it's important, untick all these. It's just irritating. Just make sure you've got them all unticked. After you check the content, they'll then obviously add to cart. Then, after they have added to cart, they'll then tend to initiate checkout. When they've done that, obviously, they're going to purchase. Like that. Okay, and then cost. Now with purchase, you'll know how much you spent. And I also do ROAS, so I know, what kind of ROAS we're looking at. And then do amount spent, which basically tells me, see how much you spent. I always untick all these boxes because they're just really irritating. I don't know anybody that actually tracks them like that. But as you can see, we're going through the funnel here. Amount spent. And at the end, I'll put frequency. Like that. Just basically how many times someone has actually, seen the ad. So then I'll name this funnel overview, put YouTube like that. And then I'll click apply. Now all your data will move. Now what I do then is I go in here, I click customize columns, and now I add my custom metrics. If you add your custom metrics whilst you're doing this, for some reason, Facebook resets everything and it just wastes your time. So we're calculating AOV. AOV, you want to go create metric, literally type in here, AOV, and you're doing purchase conversion value. So a purchase conversion value, and then you're dividing that by your purchases. Like that, click create metric, make sure it's set as a number. Then AOV, when that's done, we'll go just after here. Okay, so you see it all makes sense to do this way. Then what we sometimes do is we'll also track LTV, which is lifetime value. Now this here is obviously specifically custom to an account that we manage. So as you can see, we'll do AOV times total purchases. So basically the amount of spend, the customer purchase value times the customer purchase frequency. And then we do that times the time length that they've stayed. So say that your AOV is 50 and they'll buy total purchases within like a 12 month is like 5 sales for you. But then times that by the time length they tend to stay with you, which is like 12 months, for example. And that's how we work it out. And then obviously you can go a bit more technical than that. That's like you can start doing like customer purchase frequency, go a bit more detail. But that's basically how we do it. It's just a lot of things, like a rough LTV. Obviously, if you have triple whale, it'll take an exact number. But for smaller clients, we don't suggest they install that because it can be quite pricey. So we just stick and creating it manually. And I mean, we've done it. This is one. I mean, we do it different ways. It's kind of our main equation just from average. So you can add that at the end if you want. Sometimes I just track it in the Google Sheet. But there you go. So these are your funnel overview. Now, another main one is, another one we track is for videos. So we call this video performance. So delivery budget stays the same. Everything else gets deleted. In fact, no, we delete them as well because we just want to look purely at the video metric. So we go and create metric, and what we're looking to create now is our hook rate. Now, hook rate is literally 3-second video views, and then you divide that by impressions. Now, it's important that this here is set as a percentage. So this is going to be your hook rate, which I think I put hook rate YouTube. So that's your hook rate. That's like basically how many people stay around for the first 3 seconds, how many people's attention you get. That's your hook rate. Then we'll create video hold rate. Now on here, video hold rate, these are only relevant if you're doing like video ads. And this is 3 plays divided by impressions. Like that. Then you click create metric. And then, and obviously it's important that when you do that, you set that as a percentage here as well. Then you want to create, no, that's it. And then obviously, like I said, for some reason, whenever you create a custom metric, Facebook deletes what you've already done. So we'll just call this video performance like that. Then we just delete them all. Now you can add things like sales and you can add things like ROAS, but this is a funnel we use when we're going like deep into like the ad performance in terms of looking at, okay, how can we make this video ad better? So hook rate, video hold rate, and then we also have average view time to that as well. And then sometimes we'll also add frequency because that's quite relevant. Okay, and that's our video performance right there. It's video performance. So obviously this is only relevant for videos. Now I'll just quickly walk you through kind of what numbers you should be expecting. So if we look on funnel overview, as you can see, it's basically the whole funnel. Now, again, it varies per market, per product, whatever. But if your CPM is like around $20, that's pretty good. If you've got like a high, super high ticket client who's maybe AOV's like 500 quid plus, your CPM is going to be higher. But on average, we're talking like £50 or $50 or less. CPM is about $20. Your outbound CPC wants to be about $1 or less. Sorry, outbound CPC, yeah, $1 or less ideally. Of the outbound clicks depends on your budget. Now, I'm going through these numbers here. These are kind of like average, but if you've got like an outbound CPC of like $3, but your ROAS is like 4, then just keep doing what you're doing. But if you've got like a ROAS of like 0.9 and your CPC is like $3, you're like, okay, well, it's the CPC that needs to be worked on. I'm going to produce another video on like SOPs, for example, what to do if your CPM's low or landing page view cost low, whatever. But basically, so CPM, $20. Cost per outbound C, cost per outbound click needs to be less than $1. Outbound CTR, usually about 2%. Landing page views, depends on budget. Cost per landing page views just needs to be pretty similar to your content views, it tends to be. But you want to make sure your cost per content view is lower than your outbound CPC, because if your cost per content view is not lower than your outbound CPC, then your website needs some work. And people have obviously got confused. It's like if people you have like 100 outbound clicks and you get to like 80 landing page views, so 20% drop off is natural. But if it goes to like 50 landing page views, your website's too slow or it's too bad or not well optimized. Then from landing page, you should always have more content views and landing page views, because it means people are checking out your product. So if you get like people coming to your landing page and you've got like 100 landing page views and like 10 content views, it means you're getting the wrong people or your website just isn't, good enough. Now, content views to add to cart, it varies per brand. I mean, usually it's about 50%. But add to cart to purchase is usually 50%. And we've had it before where it's like 100 add to carts and have like 80 initiate checkout and then like 70 sales, which is, pretty decent. but you don't want to have like, if you have like 100 add to carts and like 10 checkouts and like one sale, you know there's a problem. You can go a bit deeper. Usually add to cart to purchase a 50% drop off, and then it's like 25% and like 25%. And if you have like 100 add to carts and like 50 checkouts, there's a bit of a drop off there. You can work on your, checkout process. But if you get to something like, for example, 100 add to carts, 90 checkouts, and like 10 sales, you got a problem there. 9 times out of 10 that occur, it just tends to be a shipping issue. Cost per purchase, like you want to look at your TCPA. So take average order value. Obviously, take away your COGS, take away shipping, take away your commission if you're on that. And that'll be left with your BTCAC, which is your break-even target customer acquisition cost. If you achieve that number, it means you break even. Above that number, it means you've lost money. Below that number, it means you've made money. Usually, like you are kind of like average cost per purchase can be around about $20 in the US market. In other markets, maybe a little bit higher, lower, depending on where you are. And obviously, this is just the amount of sales you've got. ROAS, I mean, we tend to get about a 3x ROAS per client. That's kind of what we aim for. Sometimes we can get 4, sometimes we can get 5. I mean, we have one client that we are at 5, but that's only because their margin like 25%, and they're a pretty viral product, so works very well. But yeah, ROAS, you want to be obviously getting as high as you can, but ROAS isn't really a success factor, because if you're a subscription brand, for example, you look at all these major brands out there like Lumen, they don't make profit on the first order. They acquire for whatever they can and then make profit of when they keep coming back. So they focus on basically getting people to keep coming back rather than making profit on the front end. So yeah, ROAS isn't really your TCPA in my eyes, or your cost per purchase, your CAC is more of a success metric. Your ROAS is just basically, kind of a flex metric. Like you can have a 5x ROAS and still not be making any money. I've seen it happen. Amount spent, obviously, is your total spend. Frequency is just basically how many times someone has seen your ad. So if you're on, this is why if you run on interest, for example, you'll see this number shoot up really quick. And that's just because obviously iOS 14 and everything. So you want to make sure your frequency kind of stays. If you spent like, I don't know, $100 and your frequency is like 2, you need to change something. You're wrong market awareness stage, or your interest is too small, whatever. But if you spent like $500 and you reach like 1.8, it's pretty average. But like I said, you don't want this to get too high. Like if you're spending low budget and this is above 2, then you need to kind of fix it. But if you're spending like $1,000 per day, for example, and it gets like 2-3, it's not really the end of the world. But obviously, if you are spending like $100 per day and it's reached like 2 or 3, you just need to fix your market awareness. No, there's a video on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. That's like the basic funnel overview. And then video performance, hook rate. This is like, we want this to be about 33% plus. Sometimes we can get this to 50%, which is 1 in 2 people we grab their attention. But 33% is bare minimum. Video hold rate is basically how many people like stay around. You're talking about 8 to 12% on that. Average view time, we usually go for about 8 to 10 seconds on that. And then frequency, obviously, we've already gone through that. So guys, that is basically everything. I'm going to record another video on like SOP. So like if your cost per outbound click's too high, what can you do to fix it? If your your frequency is too high, what can you do to fix it? I'll create another video on that, but that's basically everything. Any questions, just drop them in the comment section below. Obviously, I appreciate it. You hit the subscribe button. And if you want me to run your ads, look in the description below. And there's a little link, like a little green icon saying, have Ethan Bailey run your ads. Click the link there, show a very quick 10 to 15 minute chat with me. And we'll basically assess if you're a good fit to work with us. And that's basically everything. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on Friday.